What's up everyone? We're back with another team tour recap today, possibly the last one pre-playoffs. I don't know if we make playoffs for sure, so it might be the last video that you see of me. But for now we're playing against the Settlers of Catan, which is a name I really enjoy based off of the board game. And it consists of players such as Markoto, Improv, Oscar, Bath, Tim, who is going to be my opponent for today, Ernie, and Kitan himself, who the team name is based off of. So yeah, super formidable opponents. I believe their team is considered to be top 5 if I hadn't said so already. And on top of that, I have also imposed a challenge on myself this season, that being that I have to play every single pack at least once. So as you can see right here, I have played Turtle Pack in this game, I have played Puppy Pack in this game, and right here, the game that we're going to be reviewing today is going to be played on Unicorn Pack. I really like showcasing Unicorn Pack games because they are quite fun and sometimes even quite informative as well. Here we get a pretty decent turn 1 with the Axe Handle Hound plus the Murmel, which is top 3 units that you want to be seeing on turn 1. And we even get the draw. Basically the game plan of Unicorn Pack, in case you are unaware, is just to survive until turn 11. And then you can start potentially thinking about beating your opponent. Here we did not get super lucky, we don't have 5 units on the board, but at least we do find double level up for next turn. It's a little bit unfortunate that we'll have to spend 3 extra gold than usual to get our levels, but it's going to be fine. Here we are trying to lose in order for team to not get any snail value. And either that or a draw would be fine. Here we end up losing, which is absolutely fine by us. And yeah, on this turn we are going to try to start improving a little bit. Tier 3 can be quite important. We have some pretty good units. Skeleton Dog is basically like Giraffe of this pack. We have the Mandrake, which can be pretty good. It can turn off Hedgehogs, which are the #1 counters to Unicorn Pack players early game. This is the Brain Cramp right here, another good unit, which is very similar to the Ox. It gets some extra attack and melon. Minotaur, basically the same as a Kangaroo, but a little bit better, so we are hoping to get that. I think this is one of the top 2 tier 3 pets that we'll be hoping to see. And there's also stuff like the Wyvern, which can help us out in the future, and it also has a pretty decent stat line. So let's see what we level up into right here. First level up is the Brain Cramp itself, so we're going to take it. As we discussed, Ox is pretty decent to have. Here I am going to take another level, which results in Mandrake and Griffin. And although I did say that Mandrake is pretty decent, I see no ants, no crickets, and I don't think they're going to be picking up any flamingos either based on the units that they have. So I am not super interested in it. Instead we're going to roll for an Ogopogo, because that is basically one of the best pets that you can find in the Unicorn Pack. For now though, I'm quite happy with my decision to not pick up a Mandrake, because as you can see he picked up a dog and he's starting to spam some units. No feint abilities as far as the eye can see, so we should be okay to not have picked it up. Here I actually take this Jackalope right here in the shop, which is a decision I believe I was a little bit criticized on the stream that Markoto was doing. But as you can see, I even freeze another one, but once we hop into battle, I will be pretty proud of myself, because I will present to you that the fact is that we are surprisingly going to draw. I lied to you, we are even going to win, which is even better. And it is because of the Jackalope's ability. I was not a big fan of picking it up, but it does get us the win right here, and we're going to transition away from it soon enough. We do find the Ogopogo. Ogopogo is very important to have not 7 but 8 or more attack, because it synergizes pretty well with the werewolf in the future if you manage to get it to that threshold. But for now we're just trying to get it up to level 2 in battle, because that will buff the Murmel up. It's going to give it another +2/+4, which is going to make the stat line of the Murmel pretty respectable. We still have the Jackalope as well, giving us multiple jumps and multiple instances of damage during battle. So hopefully that is still good enough for us to win. But as you can see, our opponent picks up a Whale, which is another super good unit, and also a Garlic, which absolutely neutralizes the snipe potential that we have. Murmel, or not Murmel, but Drop Bear rather, it snipes the back unit every time, which gives extra attack to the Peacock. A little bit sad, but we stood no chance here whatsoever. What's important for us is once again to survive until turn 11, so we are going to try to do our best to tempo out as hard as we can. Here I commit a little bit of a funny misplay. I take the Wow Chicken, which gives 3 attack and weakness, when right next to it is the Porridge, which just gives 3 attack and no weakness. I don't think it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things, but it is pretty funny that I managed to misplay like this. It has been a thing that I have never considered. But yeah, we get some attack on the Brain Cramp right here, so hopefully it gets enough attack in order to trade with the Ox that has Garlic. Or not the Ox, rather the Whale. I tend to confuse a lot of the animal names today for some reason. And even though we get so many triggers of the Minotaur ability, my opponent is also getting tons of triggers of his own Kangaroo's ability. So what happens at the end is that his Kangaroo just grows bigger than my Minotaur and we end up losing. But now that we are on tier 4, we can take a level up, and it is going to be a Bad Dog. Bad Dog is one of the best things we could have gotten. I think the only thing that would be better than that would be the Werewolf itself, even though we're not prepared for it just yet. Also, something like the Salmon of Knowledge wouldn't be horrible, because we do have the Murmel, which gains stats from level ups, but at the same time I really don't want to be leveling up his stuff as well. So yeah, I think Bad Dog is one of the best things we could have found, and I will show you why in a second. We're going to pick it up. The toy that we're going to choose is the Pandora's Box, and if you take a look at the effect right here, it says start of battle, give all pets random perks and ailments. So basically what this means is it can give your entire team stuff like Pita Bread and Melon, and their entire team stuff like Exposed and Crisp. So it can make basically every round a victory or a defeat, and it is completely out of your hands. Which is kind of unfortunate that Unicorn Pack has to rely on a pet like this in order to stabilize. But as you can see, I get pretty lucky, and even though we get the Dazed ability onto the Murmel, which prevents it from getting some extra stats, I think his luck was way worse, and he is going to end up being barely defeated. The Bad Dog itself got a potato, which means it gets to survive the Hedgehog types, which I find absolutely hilarious. We get to win because of that potato. And yeah, we get a victory, a well undeserved one, and we are going to set up for some levels in the next turn. On turn 9 we are going to hope to see some Team Spirits, some Phoenix, and basically half of these units I think we can utilize pretty nicely. Like the Behemoth getting stats every turn, the Hydra giving us some extra firepower with the Summon, and something even like the Quetzalcoatl that can guarantee us more level ups, and we can start finding more of these units. I think would be pretty nice to see. But in the meantime we are going to prepare for that by putting Magic Beans on the Bad Dog. If you don't know what the Magic Beans do, the next turn we are going to get a Golden Egg, and that will make the unit sell for a lot more gold. Here we end up, I think, drawing. We get super lucky, as you can see. Even though we get the cold effect twice, I think it's not good enough for them to defeat us, and we end up only drawing. The only bad part now is that we end up losing Pandora's Box. We only had it for 2 turns, so we don't have it anymore. If we manage to find another Bad Dog in order to refresh it, I think we'll be very happy. But instead we find the Werewolf. Werewolf, super nice to have now that our Ogo Pogo is 7 or more attack, because it will get to level up the werewolf first, and then the werewolf will get to trigger its ability, tripling its stats. So yeah, we are going to try to survive until then. The bad thing about the werewolf is that it only works on even number turns, so this turn it would not work. Here we're hoping for a win, but it's sadly so one-sided that it kind of makes me sad. We are down to 2 hearts. Our opponent playing this extremely well, by the way. Picking all of the good stuff that is effective against unicorn, like the deer, like the whale. Even this chili right here, because we have so few stats, I think this chili is devastating to us. Even something like the melon, so that the bad dog is ineffective. But yeah, now we will take a level up, hoping for a team spirit. We find a phoenix, which is not too horrible. We're going to take that. I think werewolf we shall also take, because now it is turn 10. And here I was debating for a long time, because now we have level 2 Ogo Pogo basically because of the gingerbread man, so we can make any one of these units level 2 in battle. And I was wondering which one would be better to level up. Like Phoenix against his team that has low stats, I thought the Crisp would do a pretty good job. But then again, the werewolf tripling its stats, I believe it would get up to like 30-30, which against his team I think still wins pretty decisively. So what I ended up doing is that I ended up going for the Crisp strategy, which is actually a colossal misplay, because I should have really gotten the stats from the werewolf instead. As you can see right here, once we hop into the battle, even though he has a shark which is going to be very punishable by the Crisp effect, you'll be able to see that most of the things end up crisping me and not the opponent, which is a little bit sad. And what will end up happening is that my team self-destructs and then the board clears up. So we end up losing a heart. And what is even sadder is that I was told the werewolf was going to win that round for me if I had put it up at the front. So yeah, I think this game is like half of my fault for how the result ended up being. But here I do find a team spirit, so we're going to take that, selling the Minotaur, because I don't think we're going to be getting too many triggers of its ability. And we're hoping to see Gingerbread Man, which we thankfully managed to get on the Phoenix. And now we will put the Team Spirit up at the front and pray that the stats that the Team Spirit gives us will be good enough. I believe I also skipped the Bad Dog right here, which maybe I should have taken for the other toy that is not Pandora's Box, that spawns the Great One. Because as you can see, the stats that my opponent has are not too high, and that combined with the Crisp I believe will take him out pretty nicely. But yeah, we hop into battle. I am trying my hardest right here. Maybe if I had 2 more hearts to spare or something, I could have turned this around. But as you can see, the amount of stats I am receiving is just not good enough. The Phoenix ends up crisping everything, which works to my detriment, and as you can see, it ends up being a loss. So yeah, this is how the game turned out. You probably know at this point that I tried to showcase victories, but team was so dominant that I wasn't able to win even a single game. We played 3 games, the 3 that I showed at the beginning of the video, and all 3 of them I managed to lose. So good game to Tim, he played that extremely well. And unfortunately our team also lost the week, so the final week of the team tour we managed to lose. So our ability to make playoff is kind of in question right now. It depends on the last match that has yet to be played between Violet, Citizen and Improv. So I am hoping for the best, but it was a very fun season even if we don't manage to make playoffs. So I really hope you enjoyed today's recap, and if you do, I really hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.